My mom banned me from throwing my son's 10th birthday party because my brother's kids didn't feel special enough. So we packed up that night. A year later, their golden grandkids watched how happy my son was, and my brother's jealous breakdown tore the family apart. My own mother looked me in the eye and forbade my son Noah's 10th birthday. Her reason? My brother Daniel's kids might feel less special. That night, we packed our bags and left everything behind. My name is Liam. I'm 35, a locksmith, the guy with the scuffed toolbox and quiet voice who shows up when someone's key snaps at midnight. I live in a small rental with my wife, Sarah, and our son, Noah. He was turning 10 that Sunday. For weeks, he'd been sticking post-it notes on the fridge, 3 sleeps, 2 sleeps, like it was a countdown to a rocket launch. All he wanted was a simple party, courtyard soccer, hot dogs, and a chocolate cake with the number 10 on top. Nothing fancy. In my family, I've always been the background guy, the can you swing by guy. If there's a squeaky hinge, a stuck latch, a door that swells in the summer, you call Liam. If there's a glow-up, a promotion, a stage photo with matching outfits in a field at sunset, you call my older brother, Daniel. He's the golden one. He doesn't fix doors, doors open for him. I don't hate Daniel. As kids, I trailed him like a shadow with a wrench while he trailed applause. My mother, Eleanor, kept score in a ledger only she could see. Somehow, he always had credits. I always had character building. I learned to be useful. He learned to be adored. Saturday afternoon, I stopped by my parents' house to grab a folding table for Noah's party. Eleanor likes to lend things with a lecture included. She watched me dusting it off in the garage, then said, "Come inside for tea." Her tone meant agenda. My father, Robert, was in his recliner, TV muted, pretending to be neutral like Switzerland in a living room. Eleanor poured tea, didn't offer sugar, and went straight to the script. "We've been talking," she started. "About Noah's party on Sunday?" I asked, my gut already clenching. She paused. "About Noah. You can't have the party," she said, just like she was commenting on the weather. "Your brother Daniel's kids don't feel special enough." I blinked. "What?" "They saw those balloons you bought," she continued. "And they're sensitive right now. They feel overlooked. A big fuss for Noah would be divisive." "It's 5 kids, hot dogs, and a cake," I said, trying to keep my voice even. "We're not hiring a brass band." She gave me that thin smile. "Postpone it, or make it a joint celebration at Daniel's. His yard is bigger. It's only fair." "Noah turns 10 once," I said, my voice growing tighter. "We've planned this for weeks." Eleanor's voice cooled, cutting through the air. "If you choose selfishness, don't bring him here afterward. We won't reward it." The kettle clicked off. Robert cleared his throat. No one looked at me. Inside, something small and precise shifted into place, like pins lining up in a lock. It wasn't rage. It was recognition. I saw the ledger again, the one where my son's joy counted as someone else's theft. "Okay," I said. "Eleanor, I hear you." I left the folding table where it was. I walked out with empty hands and a thought that wouldn't let go. He turns 10 once, and we are done begging for permission to celebrate our own kid. You don't arrive at a sentence like your brother's kids don't feel special enough out of nowhere. It's built over years, brick by brick, favor by favor, silence by silence. I grew up learning that love at our house had fine print. When Daniel needed a new bat, the budget stretched. When I needed a school fee, we had a serious talk about priorities. When he won trophies, the living room turned into a shrine. When I fixed the broken fence, I got a nod and a good man. I told myself I didn't mind because I liked tools, and being useful is its own language. But being useful is different from being seen. By 16, I was rekeying rentals for a landlord who paid in cash and complaints. I learned the sound of a cylinder when it's almost there, the way metal talks to you if you listen. I liked the certainty. Follow the pins. Turn the plug. Door opens. People cry and say thank you. No ledgers, no drama. I met Sarah on a lockout call. She brought me water and asked if I wanted lemon. Lemon. That tiny detail still lives in my head. We got married at the courthouse with a grocery store cake and a tiny bouquet Sarah tied with blue thread from her sewing kit. The cake didn't photograph well. It tasted perfect. Daniel married Chloe in a vineyard. There were drones and a hashtag. When Noah was born, I held him and thought, this is it. This is my whole job now. Make the world a little kinder at the edges. We don't have much, but we have clear rules: don't lie. Don't keep score. Don't weaponize help. My side of the family, though, runs on small asks. Liam, can you install a smart lock at Daniel's? He'd pay a pro, but we're family. Liam, can you look at our garage door Saturday? It's loud. Your father Robert can't nap. Liam, can you pick up the kids? Chloe's spa day went long. At first, I said yes to all of it. That's how you keep peace, right? You pay the tax, but taxes turned into tithes. If I invoiced them, I'd be cold-hearted. If I didn't, I'd be a good son. The ledger always existed, the labels just shifted to keep me in my place. We keep a budget notebook at home, pencil numbers, groceries, gas, rent. Last year, I added a tiny page: family jobs, hours, parts. I told myself it was just to remember. January through June, $37 parts, $213 hours, reimbursed $0. Eleanor texted in March, we'll settle up after Easter. Easter, then Mother's Day, then things are tight in June. But Daniel posted a photo of their new espresso machine with the caption, invest in mornings. Cool. It isn't just money, it's the posture, the assumption that our time is elastic, that Noah's schedule can bend around real things. Last year, we tried a joint party for Noah. It makes sense, Eleanor said. Children learn to share. Sharing turned into our kid fading into the wallpaper while Daniel's kids got the center spot and the big slice with the topper that said family first. The photos looked adorable. Noah asked me later if joint meant not really his. Sarah cried in the bathroom with the fan on. She hates crying where people can hear. I stood outside the door and stared at a towel rack I had installed for my parents and never got paid for. I thought about sending an invoice with a line item for respect. I didn't. That felt petty. Also, I knew the ledger would flip it into proof that I was calculating. Eleanor has a tone when she says my brother's kids' names. It's soft and round, like a spoon and honey. When she says Noah's name, it's brisk, efficient, like she's filing paperwork. She doesn't mean to. She believes she loves us equally. The ledger says otherwise. In the weeks before Noah's 10th, we planned small. 12 balloons, $16. Hot dogs, buns, juice, $41. Paper plates and candles, $9. A used soccer net off Marketplace, $20. Chocolate, butter, flour, $27. Total, $113. Noah made a guest list of 5 kids and wrote their names in careful, blocky letters. He drew a tiny cake next to each name. He saved 2 seats for his cousins because he still wants everything to work out. Then Eleanor's kitchen. Postpone, or make it a joint. Your brother Daniel's kids don't feel special enough. I said no. It scared me how quiet the word came out. That night, the phone lit up. Aunt texts. Robert calls. Daniel's brotherly voice notes. The pattern was predictable. Is a compromise really so hard? Be pragmatic. We're one family. Robert, who only becomes pragmatic when it's convenient. Bring the cake to ours. We've got a theme. Daniel, always brand conscious. Don't be selfish, Liam. Eleanor. She uses my full name when she thinks she's saving me from myself. Sarah watched me put my phone face down. What do you want to do? She asked. I stared at the streamers on our kitchen table. I thought of Noah's drawings taped to the fridge. I want to give our son his day, I said. And I want to stop negotiating for basic joy. Then let's do that, she said. Eleanor's last text came at 10:41 p.m. If you go through with this, don't bring him here afterward. We cannot support your choices. I read that and finally understood, support in this family has always meant control. I slept light. In my dream, I was turning a stubborn cylinder. It finally clicked. Sunday morning, Noah came barreling into the kitchen in mismatched socks. Is it today? Is it double digits? He asked. It's today. It's double digits, I said. We iced the cake together. I don't know how to do those smooth bakery swirls, mine look like small waves. Noah said they were cool like mountains. Sarah piped the 1 and the 0 a little crooked. It felt right. At 9:12 a.m., Eleanor called. I let it ring. At 9:14, Daniel. At 9:19, Robert. The call log looked like a fire alarm. We opened the courtyard gate. I taped a paper sign with an arrow that said, Noah's 10. Like it was a treasure map. Kids arrived. Backpacks, chatter. Shy hellos turned into chaos, which is another word for joy when you're 10. We played penalty kicks into the used net. Noah scored, skidded on his knees, yelled, yes, like he was announcing something bigger than soccer. At 10:03, the gate rattled. Eleanor walked in with Daniel and Chloe behind her, like a small parade that didn't check the schedule. They were uninvited and dressed like they were here to host. My stomach sank. Sarah stood a little straighter. Noah came to my side and grabbed my hand. His palm was sticky with frosting he'd tested. Eleanor glanced around. Balloons, paper plates, the $20 net, like it was contraband. She made the face she makes when a server puts cilantro on her food. Liam, she said, her voice carrying. We told you the conditions. This is Noah's party, I said. Calm. I heard my own tone and felt steady. Daniel smiled like a politician. Bro, we're not here to fight. We're here to rescue this. Bring the cake to our place. The cousins are waiting. We've got entertainment, a better grill, an arch. It'll look good. Chloe tried to step in. Let's be adults, she said to me, then soft to Eleanor, it's not a competition. Eleanor ignored her. You are making the other children feel less than, she announced. That's not who we are. I looked at Noah's friends, wide-eyed, holding paper cups. I looked at my son. I looked at the woman who gave birth to me and somehow forgot that celebration is not theft. You can stay and be kind, I said. Or you can leave. Eleanor's eyes widened like I'd slapped her. Excuse me? You heard me, I said. No speeches, no conditions, no rescue. You're guests, or you're gone. Daniel laughed. Big words, little budget. Something in me wanted to list every free hour I'd poured into his house. The security cameras, the rekeying after he lost a key, the Saturday mornings I gave up so his weekend could breathe. Instead, I did the simplest thing that felt like truth. Stop, I said. He blinked. What? Stop making my son's birthday about your kids, I said. Stop turning our life into your project. Stop walking into spaces you weren't invited to and acting like hosts. Eleanor switched to guilt mode. After everything we've done for you. You turn done for me into a bill, I said. Every time. I'm not paying it anymore. Daniel stepped closer, lowering his voice to make it scarier. Think very carefully about your next move. I have, I said. It's cake. I turned to the kids. Who wants to sing? The courtyard filled with the wobbly, loud chorus of 9 and 10-year-olds. Noah's face went shiny with happiness. He closed his eyes to make a wish. He opened them and blew 10 small flames out at once. He cheered. They cheered. It felt like oxygen. Eleanor stood frozen, then snapped. If you leave like this, do not come back. We won't be treated like this, she said. We won't be treated like that either, I said. No heat, just a fact. Daniel tried one more flick of power. Text me when you come to your senses. I didn't promise anything. They left. We cut cake. The boys argued about the corner piece. Someone spilled juice. Someone yelled, "Goal again!" Life resumed. When the last guest left with a sticky goodie bag and our courtyard looked like a confetti storm, Sarah leaned against me and whispered, "I'm proud of you." I exhaled for the first time all day. I meant it, I said. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. We cleaned up, then looked around our place like it was a map we finally understood. Pack a bag, I said. We need a night away from the noise. We stuffed clothes into a duffel, scooped legal papers into a file folder, and Noah chose 2 Lego minifigs so they wouldn't be lonely. We left the faucet drip we'd been ignoring and the coin jar on the counter. We locked the door from the outside. The lock clicked, and it felt like a sentence ending in the right place. We checked into a budget motel off Route 17. The AC hummed like a steady friend. Noah fell asleep between us, smelling like sugar. Sarah looked at me in the dim light and asked, "Are we really doing this?" "Yeah," I said. "We are." We didn't go far. We went far enough to hear our own voices. 2 motel nights turned into a short-term sublet over a barber shop. The landlord handed me the keys and said, "Deadbolt sticks. You look like you know what you're doing." I fixed it in 5 minutes and felt like maybe we'd be okay. We brought what we could carry, 2 duffels, a folding table, Noah's beanbag, the coin jar. We bought a mattress secondhand and a $40 couch that leaned left. The place smelled like hair tonic downstairs and fresh air upstairs. Every morning, we woke to the shop radio. And the sound of clippers. I liked it. It sounded like people working. The family reaction came in waves. Week 1, calls. 27 missed from Eleanor, 14 from Robert, 9 from unknown numbers. And voicemails that sounded like press releases. We're devastated, Eleanor. Be reasonable, Robert. Therapy for the kids is expensive because of you, Daniel. Classic. Let's talk like adults, Eleanor again. After the anger cooled into manipulation, I saved every voicemail into a folder labeled weather. When I felt weak, I listened and reminded myself what a storm looks like. Week 2, the money squeeze. Eleanor texted, "We fronted a lot for you over the years. If you're going to choose this path, we need to settle up." She attached a list of loans that included a grocery run from 2018 and a pack of diapers from 2015. I screenshotted and added it to weather. I didn't respond. You can't audit love retroactively to make disobedience expensive. Week 3, the smear. Chloe posted a quotation about ingratitude over a beige aesthetic, and 3 people liked it with heart emojis. An aunt texted, "Family forgives." Another aunt texted, "But you went too far." Both screenshots went to weather. I stopped checking Facebook. Our life shrank and got better. Mornings, walk Noah to school down Oak, passing Mr. Rodriguez sweeping his deli sidewalk. He started keeping lemon lollipops for Noah. Your boy's polite, he said. Evenings, soccer in the park with a ball losing hexagons. Homework at the folding table. Pasta too many nights in a row. Laughter. Anyway, I took extra lock jobs and raised my rates by $10 because my work is worth it. I wrote it on the invoice without apologizing. Some clients blinked, most paid. I also sent a new text to family when they tried the old quick favor script. Happy to help at my standard rate, $95 per hour plus parts. Weekend rate, $115. Eleanor responded, LOL. Daniel responded with a screenshot of a Yelp listing. I replied, great. Hire them. He didn't. In March, Robert called at 6:13 a.m. Garage won't close. Your mother's upset, he said. I can come Friday at 2, I said. Rates $95 plus parts. Silence. You're really doing this? He asked. I am. He hung up. They hired a stranger who charged $140 and left the wire a mess. Eleanor texted a photo of the mess with the caption, "This is what happens when family doesn't help family." I typed and deleted 5 replies. I settled on none. Noah turned into a different kid. He slept deeper. He stopped asking, "Are we going to Grandma's?" like it might change if he said it right. He started asking, "Can we invite Ethan from school?" The answer was yes, more often than it used to be. We started 2 jars, summer and emergency. We fed them with tips and side jobs and the occasional $20 Sarah tucked in when she sold a custom ham for a neighbor. Numbers grew slow, then grew faster. It was boring and holy. Not that it was easy. The second month, our old car coughed up a costly check engine light. We sat at the shop, got the quote, did the math. We said no to a Friday pizza and yes to a repair. Noah asked if we were poor. I said, "We're careful." He decided that sounded cooler. He told his friend, "We're careful. It means we pick our fun on purpose." In late spring, we ran into Daniel at the hardware store. He looked at my basket, hinges, strike plates, graphite, and smirked. "Still playing handyman?" he asked. "Still playing eldest son?" I asked back. He leaned in. "You think you're better because you're stubborn?" "I think I'm healthier because I stopped paying an imaginary bill," I said. He looked confused and a little mad. He walked away. Summer came. We took one-day trip to the lake. Gas, sandwiches, $7 parking, a sunburn. It felt like the whole world reset to simple. In September, I got a call from the school guidance office. My heart dropped until the counselor said, "I just wanted to tell you, Noah advocates for himself. He's kind." I sat on the barbershop steps and cried behind my hands. Not loud, just relief. We barely spoke to my parents. They sent 3 holiday invites, each with heavy subtext. We declined with one sentence each time, "We're staying in." Happy holidays. They sent photos of centerpieces and matching pajamas. We baked cookies and ate them in pajamas we didn't match. And Noah fell asleep on the left-leaning couch with chocolate on his cheek. A year rolled by like a careful cart. The week before Noah's 11th, he asked, "Can I invite my cousins again?" He said it with hope and caution, like a test of the emergency broadcast system. "You can," I said. "They might not come." He wrote their names anyway on the list. Right after Ethan and Caleb and Sophia, he drew tiny soccer balls next to each. Party plan, same courtyard, same net, repaired with fishing line, same cake, my waves got better, plus a rented bubble machine from a guy I helped open his shop once at dawn. He gave me a discount and said, "You saved me that day." Community is weird. It's heavier where you lift it. At 2:05 on party day, Chloe arrived with the cousins. No Daniel. The kids looked nervous, then saw the bubbles and forgot to be strategic. They jumped into the foam like puppies. 5 minutes later, Eleanor slipped in holding a gift bag too big for what was inside. She scanned the scene like a judge, then tried to corral the cousins for a grandkids photo, but they wriggled away to chase bubbles. She looked unsure. Noah handed a paper cup to his cousin and said, "We have the corner piece of cake reserved for the birthday kid. You can have the other corner if you want." The cousin said, "Cool." They smiled. It could have been so simple all along. At 3:10, Daniel walked in. Late. Sunglasses loud. He took in the joy that wasn't centered on him and made a face like he smelled a bad idea. "So, this is what we're doing," he said. "Budget party chic. Inspiring." Chloe said his name with a warning note. Eleanor tried to smooth the air with a brittle laugh. People kept laughing at Bubbles. Joy is stubborn. Daniel stepped closer to me. "You happy?" he asked. "You broke Eleanor's heart for this, for our kid's smile?" I said, "Yeah." He scoffed. "You think you're some hero because you bought orange juice and said boundaries a lot? Meanwhile, we've had to pay for therapy for the kids because you excluded them." He air-quoted like a teenager. I almost asked for receipts, but I've learned better. "You can't audit that ledger either." He leaned in. Voice sharp. "You owe Eleanor an apology today, in front of everyone." Kids turned their heads. Bubbles popped. The sun made everything too clear. I crouched to Noah. "You okay?" He nodded. "Brave." I stood up. I said, "You need to leave." He laughed. "Make me." I didn't raise my voice. "I have 71 voicemails and 94 texts saved from last year where you and Eleanor threatened consequences," I said. "If you won't go, I'll call this in as a disturbance." I'm not bluffing. Numbers matter to him. He flinched. Eleanor tried one last pivot. "Liam, don't do this in front of the children." "This is exactly where to do it," I said. "So they see what a boundary looks like without yelling." Chloe took Daniel's arm. "We're leaving," she said. Her tone said, "I'm done being your audience." He yanked free, turned at the gate, and shouted, "You'll regret this." It sounded small against the noise of kids laughing at Bubbles. We went back to cake. Noah got his corner. His cousin got the other. Joy rebooted. That night, my phone lit up with messages that ranged from the scripted, "families have disagreements," to the obscene. I put it face down. I washed the cake knife. I took my son into bed. He said, "Best party," and fell asleep like he trusted the floor not to move. If you've spent your life as the background guy, it feels wrong at first to take up space. You keep wanting to apologize for existing in the frame. I don't do that anymore. Our life isn't cinematic. It's checkout lane math and borrowed ladders and soup on Tuesdays. It's Sarah hemming pants at the kitchen table. It's me coming home smelling like metal and graphite, and Noah yelling unlock when I open the door, and me yelling relock, back because we're dorks. It's jars on the fridge labeled cleats, camping, car fund, filled by 1s and 5s that add up to something true. My mother Eleanor texts sometimes, neutral holidays. A photo of chrysanthemums. A link to an article about forgiveness. I reply when I want with full sentences. I don't when I don't. She hasn't said, "I'm sorry." I stopped writing that line for her in my head. Daniel sent a paragraph in spring. "We should be brothers again. Family forgives." I could use help installing a camera system. "Can you do Saturday?" I replied, "I'm booked." He wrote, "Always selfish." I didn't let that land. Words only land if you make room. People ask if I'm angry. I was. Now I'm clear. There's a difference. Here's what I know and what I'm teaching my son Noah: joy isn't a pie you steal from when you give a slice to your kid. Help isn't help if it turns into a receipt every time you say no. Boundaries aren't revenge. They're doors that lock from the inside so your home can be quiet. Saying no without a paragraph is a skill. We don't do that is a complete sentence. This was never about winning. There's no scoreboard in healthy love. This was about closure, which is just another word for turning the key on a door that never protected you and walking through the one that does. I'm still a locksmith. I still show up when people are stuck. I still listen for the tiny click that means it's time. I used to believe my job ended at the door. Now I know it also lives at our kitchen table, at a courtyard with a lopsided cake, at a gate where I said, "You need to leave." And meant it. I won't let anyone ration my kid's birthday to keep other kids feeling special enough. I won't do free labor to buy a seat at a table where we're never served. I won't pay emotional interest on loans I never took. I will keep my house simple and my rules simpler. Be kind. Be honest. Be safe. This isn't about revenge. I told my brother Daniel this is about closure. It still is. We lined up the pins. We turned. The door opened. We stepped through and stayed. What would you have done in my shoes?